good evening, or morning, depending on your time zone. From the Pacific to the Atlantic to you worldwide. Get yourself a cup of Java and find a comfy, easy chair. And get ready for Gary and his guest on Night Dreams Talk Radio. After Dark. And now, here's Gary.
Boy, I almost knocked my shoulder out with that golf club. I'll tell you that swing out there keeps always reminding me of Johnny Carson, and Ed McMahon. Here's Johnny, or, what can I say? Again, a big shout out to all the truckers that listen to the show. Again, you can check us out at www.nightdreamstalkradio.com. I just am so excited for the 15th. Some major changes on the show. We're going to go to a 4-hour format. On the top of each hour, James is going to be giving the paranormal news. We have Tobias Whalen will come on once a week and give us a report on cryptics. And James, who is going to give us a report on UFOs once a week?
UFOs is going to be Mr. Fusco. And then we got Tobias doing the cryptids, and they're going to give about 20-minute reports once a week, so that's going to be very, very good.
And we're going to have two guests. We're going to have our main guest that will be on for 90 minutes, and then we're going to have a secondary guest for an hour or so. So the show is going to be crammed with a lot more entertainment in the paranormal and government conspiracies. Well, Tim, we're back after all my talking, and you notice I haven't used the word penis in the last hour. You know how many people are...
There's the first time for everything.
You know how many people have been texting me pictures of penis on from Facebook here tonight?
Oh, my God.
I don't want to know.
I don't know. James, stop, will you, please?
I'm going to stop. I'm going to change the subject right now.
Yeah, James. Please. You have a question or two you had, didn't you?
I do. I've got a question for both of you, and it blows my mind, and I have a theory behind it. My theory is this Mandela effect, and I've got two things I want to ask you about it. One, I think it's a cause and effect by time travel that's messing up other universes, because here's the thing. Gary, you speak of Ed McMahon. Tell me, what do you remember? Do you remember him knocking on doors with Publishers Clearinghouse? Do you ever remember that?
I actually did.
Guess what? He's never dead. He never worked for him ever. Look it up. I'm telling you. I just about fell out of my chair because I can remember it as a kid. Commercials. Supposedly, there's no record. I've never worked out nothing. I'm telling you. And the other thing is Monopoly game. I can remember I've had Monopoly games. The guy had an eyepiece. Well, he's never had an eyepiece. There's two, but this goes on. But the Ed McMahon one really blows me away because I'm telling you, I used to see the commercials, but he's never worked for him.
That or I had good dreams of him doing it. I don't know, but I actually remember that when I was young. That he, well, again, who knows? What do you think, Tim?
I remember also Ed McMahon being part of Publishers Clearinghouse.
I'm telling you. Is that something or what?
Yeah, that's well, I've had a couple of those myself, especially involving, say, like the deaths of celebrities. One of them in particular, who was it? Harvey Fierstein. I could have sworn that he died 10 years ago. That he had developed like throat cancer, and had passed away. But I guess not. He's still alive and still acting. But I could have sworn that he had passed away. So, is the Mandela effect a reality? I mean, or our memories, as the scientists like to say, just are imperfect, and we just are remembering things incorrectly. But it could very well be a situation, like you said, where you've got time travelers who have traveled into the past and have basically created alternative timelines. Now, one aspect of quantum physics theorizes that everything that we do, every decision that we make, actually creates an alternative timeline. So, I mean, it could very well be a situation where, on a more personal level, I suppose, things that happened to us in the past, things that we remember, if for whatever reason you end up jogging off into an alternative timeline, there is enough differences that your memory doesn't quite catch up on certain aspects of it, and so you're left with these kind of odd anomalies, like Ed McMahon or myself with Harvey Firestein. So I don't know. I mean, it just goes to show that I think that our reality really is a lot more plastic than we think it is. That it could very well be a possibility that things are changing all the time, and most of the time our memory changes with it. But every once in a while, naturally, there's a glitch, and we remember things from that, from our alternative or different or the timeline before it branched out at whatever junction.
That's possible. I just got an email from a trucker, Dave Morgan, and he is actually going through Dallas right now. But he said that makes a lot of sense, that, it could be time slips and stuff like that, or people traveling time, that it causes things to alter. Also, he said, maybe we're in the Matrix and there's a malfunction in the mainframe. I don't know.
Well, that's one of Tim Beckley's favorite theories. I mean, he loves to speculate on the idea that we are living in some kind of simulated reality, and that it's like any kind of simulated reality. It's imperfect, and there are glitches in the coding. Somebody forgets to add a colon where there should be something else, and it creates a glitch. And of course, when that glitch is created, it then basically, it just self-perpetuates.
Well, maybe an alien race came down here and caused the death of us humans, or the majority of them, and created a computer program to let us continue, our spirits continue on a microchip. I don't know.
That's a disturbing thought. I just read an article recently talking about how, what if you were able to, say, download yourself into the internet, would you in the internet actually be you? Or would it just be a reasonable fact? Similarly, would it have consciousness? Would it be self-aware? That sort of thing. Myself, I think that what we call our consciousness or soul or whatever is outside of this reality, and and our bodies are basically almost like radio receivers. That's playing, that our consciousness is using, so that unless there is some kind of connection where that consciousness can also be part of a internet reality, then the internet you really would just be an avatar. There would be no consciousness. It wouldn't be you. It would just be your memory, so to speak.
That is always a possibility. What do you think, James?
all these are plausible scenarios. I always go back with this one here. Maybe a million years ago, we're just a science project of an alien child, and they stored us in the attic. And every once in a while, they go up there and play with it and bring it out and show it. These are all scenarios that we don't have the answers to, but I can tell you they make you think about things. I don't think we're a hologram or nothing like that, but I do see your point that if we was in that, we wouldn't be ourselves. We probably would be an avatar. But then it comes to a point, where's the line blur between reality and the avatar? Or when do they merge? Or when can you tell? These are scary thoughts.
Or how would you know?
Right.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. They're and I wish I could remember this guy's name. I was listening to like a podcast one time where this guy was he was a remote viewer, and except that rather than just getting impressions, I mean, he would actually he could go into a trance and send his mind out, almost like astral projection. And he did this one time because he said that he wanted to see what the universe actually looked like. And so when he projected his mind, he said he found himself in a laboratory somewhere, and like surprised the scientists who were working in this laboratory, and they showed him this device that they said, well, this is your universe. This is where you're from. This was something that we had made because we were making a simulation of our universe, and we made yours, and lo and behold, it actually created galaxies and stars and planets and life, and that's where you're from.
That would be scary, I'll tell you that. And you know what? Maybe their days could be thousands of our years.
Right, exactly. Well, I mean, you go to the Bible, and what was it? It says that 1,000 of our years is a blink of God's eye. So if we are a simulated reality, that's probably the case. I mean, we're in some laboratory someplace, and let's just hope that they don't run out of funding.
Well, that or
shut us down.
Well, look what you said happened to your computer. It just bit the dust. It went to computer heaven. The same thing could happen to us, but would we even know it if we were just nothing more than a rhythm on a memory chip or on an integrated circuit? We wouldn't even know it. It'd be just gone. We'd stop. It's like your computer died.
Mm.
Yeah, that's an unsettling thought, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't want to give that much thought. I have enough thought. It's right now after today. I'll tell you that.
After the whole bad mortician thing.
Oh, did you have to bring that up? I was even past that right now.
The bad mortician.
I'm not going to eat pickles, though, for a long time. I'll tell you that.
Or gherkins.
I don't know. What's this world coming to? It had to be something wrong with the auto rhythms or something in the computer. It caused that. We got to blame it on something.
Yes, it was those glitches that we were talking about.
Yeah. So if you could, Tim, time travel and go back in time